Hell on Wheels is the epic story of post-Civil War America and the construction of the first transcontinental railroad. The main character is Cullen, a former Confederate soldier whose quest for revenge has led him to Hell on Wheels. And his frenemy is Elam Ferguson, a freed slave who is trying to find his place in the world. Well, season 2 of Hell on Wheels is back with a vengeance, and I'm so happy to say so are these guys. Anson Mount, who portrays Cullen, and Common, who plays Elam Ferguson, join us back here on New Mexico Style, and they've got a great taste of what's in store for the fans. Good morning and welcome back, gentlemen.
Hi, Nikki. How's it going?
I'm glad you guys are back. Welcome. You know, I want to first start by talking to you, Anson, about the fact that your character is still struggling to leave his troubled past behind. And, you know, we know that Cullen is on the run and up to no good. So what will we learn about what makes Cullen tick?
That's a really good question, because that's the majority of what season 2 is about. Is not just Cullen Bohannon chasing the famed one-armed man, but the idea of why is he doing this? What is it that he's struggling with? And maybe more the idea that his hunting these men down was a form of self-punishment for having left his family.
Interesting.
We're getting into a much more character-driven season this year, instead of a plot-driven season, and strangely that's led to a lot more action. But the whole question of why Cullen Bohannon is here and what is he doing is very much alive throughout the entire season, and what's going to end up becoming more to the front of the discussion of what's making all of these characters tick is the idea of sort of the dark side of American ambition. Interesting.
Yeah, and you know, I said last time you guys were here, I said the show is also a little bit of a history lesson, and I know, Common, you also mentioned the fact that there's a really interesting growth about the relationship between the two of you that you learn together, and you know, we know that the Find the Town has grown quite a bit, and Common, your character is really working for a railroad mogul, Thomas Durant, and what we learn is that the love of Elam's life has married another man. So let's talk about the evolution of your character since season 1.
Well, yeah, my character is, you know, a former slave who really is trying to figure out, like, where do I fit in the world, first of all, after slavery, but then coming to the railroad and also receiving, because he is ambitious, as Anson said, it's about the ambition.
Sure.
He does reach certain levels, and it's given a great position on the railroad by Durant.
Right.
And along with that, he falls in love with a woman who's a former prostitute. But of course, with racial relationships at that time, and just the way the climate of what the world was, it was hard for those two to be together.
Sure.
And then she goes out and marries a guy who tried to hang him. So he's definitely dealing with a lot, and he's trying to fit into a community that he was a part of, and now is not accepting him as much.
Well, and as you both mentioned, I mean, this second season is very character driven. What other storylines can we look forward to unfolding?
Well, I would say, I mean, one of the characters that a lot of people loved from last season, the Swede, he has been demoted. He at one point was a big time enforcer on the railroad, and he is, like, because he was tarred and feathered last year, he lost a lot of respect, and now he's more of just the person that deals with almost like what do you call the answer when they at the cemetery,
a grave digger.
Yeah, he's basically a grave digger at this point.
So he's been humbled.
I mean, his storyline, and then also Reverend Cole is dealing with some things that about, you know, he's been going through it, being a drunkard and not really being true to the church the way he had wanted to. So it's definitely a lot of drama in this season. Yeah,
and the McGinnis brothers are sort of rising in power, and they're becoming what is gonna be the early Irish mob.
Ooh, so a whole new drama unfolding. And speaking of drama, Anson, we have to talk about this, because at the end of season 1, sparks were kind of flying between Cullen and Lily Bell, but it appears that she's not too happy with you right now. So do you think she'll come around, or what can you tell us?
Well, all I can say is that relationship does progress.
Okay.
It's very present in season 2. I can't tell you to what degree or what happens, but yeah, that will be explored
Okay, we'll leave it at that, right? Well, we're looking forward to it. Thank you guys so much. I'm really happy you're back for another season. And of course, as I said last time you guys were here, you can certainly catch up on the last season with the DVDs, and you can catch the new season of Hell on Wheels Sunday nights on AMC, airing right before Breaking Bad, which, by the way, is shot right here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And as I told you last time, you guys have an open invitation on set anytime you're in town.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Thank you guys so much. We're excited about this season. And the question for the viewers is, are you looking for love? Well, stay with us, because after the break, we're meeting Albuquerque's most eligible men and women. Don't go away.